Hey Jake, you want a marker? We like to take turns. Hello Internet, we are Cinema Brawls and we're here to talk about two movies today to decide which one's better. We're talking about Happy Gilmore and Prisoner of Azkaban. Two very different movies and we're going to decide which one we like more.
That was so intense. All right.
It was so intense.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is the third of the Harry Potter books / movies. It came out in 2004, stars Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, Alan Rickman, all those good stuff, and directed by Alfonso Cuarón.
You have to say it with the ridiculously over-the-top accent.
I can't pronounce it correctly, otherwise it's like Corin? No.
Cool.
And Happy Gilmore was directed by Dennis Dugan and stars Adam Sandler, Christopher McDonald, and Julie Bowen, but the real star of the movie, as we all know, is Bob Barker.
Came out in 96.
1996, yes indeed. So, first impressions. Let me start on this one. Happy Gilmore is the far superior movie, and let me tell you why. Prisoner of Azkaban was the third installment. I don't like Harry Potter that much anyway. Happy Gilmore was Adam Sandler's best movie, and also the funniest.
You're not wrong. I too.
All I said there was facts.
I too think that Happy Gilmore is Adam Sandler's best movie. Wait, there was the one. What movie did he do?
Dates.
No, it was the movie
Waterboy?
No.
Longest Yard.
Bedtime Stories.
Stop it.
Jack and Jill. Yeah, you're right. Jack and Jill.
No, it was the one where he was. Oh crap! What movie is it?
Literally no idea.
Where Adam Sandler's in 9/11, like his family was killed in 9/11, and it's sad, and he actually like acts in that movie. He's not super funny. I think that's his best movie. This is his best comedy.
Matt, your first impression?
I am going to say this a lot during this video. I absolutely hate Adam Sandler. I cannot stand his style of comedy, his movies, at all. And while Happy Gilmore is one of the better ones, I personally liked Waterboy better, but I still hate it. And I will not let Happy Gilmore win any categories. If it does win one, it will be over my dead body. And while Harry Potter, as a franchise...
That's two in a row. I'm so sorry.
You like actually just like smacked him right in the jaw.
I bopped him.
The violence on this show.
I booped him in the snoot again.
Harry Potter's not great. I think Prisoner of Azkaban is the best of the Harry Potters, but I still think they're all better than Happy Gilmore. That was my first impression.
We cool?
Yeah, no, we're cool. Mark gets at Brawl.
So, let's talk about the story. Brief summary of Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry is in his third year of school at Hogwarts. He finds out that the man who is responsible for the death of his parents has escaped Azkaban, and he goes on a hunt for him.
Story of Happy Gilmore is a hockey player who decides that his long shot in golf is so good that he's going to try and go pro, and then does.
That's it.
But his putting game sucked, so he had to get that going. Then he eventually
Everyone's putting game sucks.
Everyone. Yeah,
We went golfing last Saturday.
We did go golfing last Saturday, and we're going to talk about our scores later.
That will never be disclosed to the public. No. vouch for Harry Potter's story because the reason I think Prisoner of Azkaban is the best because I think it's the most interwoven with itself. Like, I think it stands alone from the other Harry Potter movies. The later ones are very connected because you have to deal with Voldemort and Harry and the Horcruxes and whatever. And obviously the first two movies are Harry just learning what Hogwarts is. So I think Prisoner of Azkaban stands on its own there. It's a really good interwoven story. The characters really come into their own here. There's the whole time travel aspect, which I thought was super interesting. And I just love watching it and just connecting all those dots and all those pieces.
That was interesting, yeah.
True. But Happy Gilmore has a great story about golf. And who doesn't love golf? You love golf.
I like playing golf. I don't like watching golf.
Well, nobody likes watching golf. We didn't really, that was a great thing. We didn't have to watch golf. We watched a hockey player play golf, and that was different.
Watch Adam Sandler play golf, and if you've ever
We're
watched
talking about
Adam
the story.
Adam Sandler plays Adam Sandler every time.
Okay, but I feel like the jokes in that story and Happy Gilmore landed way better than the jokes in Prisoner of Azkaban.
There were jokes in Prisoner of Azkaban?
No, there wasn't, but there wasn't supposed to be. Not every movie has to be.
No jokes.
It doesn't have to have jokes. Not all movies are comedies. And there were some funny parts, like when Hermione punches Draco.
That was funny.
All right, you got me. I spent the first 10 minutes before this video looking for a leg to stand on, but I will fight for Happy Gilmore because I love that movie.
I think that as a singular story, Happy Gilmore has a beginning, middle, and end versus Azkaban has... It's a middle chapter in this much bigger story, but because of everything that happens in the story, it is kind of the last standalone Harry Potter. It's the last one that has no overarching threat, if that makes sense. Like, there's always Voldemort. First one, he takes out Voldemort. Second one, he takes out the snake. Third one's got Sirius Black, but, you know, he's not
I feel
really
like the fourth
that
one
guy.
had its own kind of condensed story with the games and stuff.
It did, but that introduced Voldemort as the main threat
Yeah.
for the last 8 movies.
It did. But here's where I'll give it to you, Matt, because I do have to give the actual opinion.
I appreciate that.
Prisoner of Azkaban and Harry Potter as a whole has a very deep, like, delved into story. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot to it, like, more than even just the movies let on. And that story is so, like, fleshed out, and, you know, Prisoner of Azkaban was actually really important to it all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, it introduces some of my favorite characters in the whole series. Mm-hmm. And so...
next.
Right. But you're right. The story in Prisoner of Azkaban is better thought out. And it's... You're right.
That was hard. So, Prisoner of Azkaban?
Yeah.
That's what I'm voting for.
All right, Prisoner of Azkaban wins story.
But it's not getting any more than that.
Oh, I think it will.
So let's talk about characters. First off, Jake, what are the characters' names in Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, Happy Gilmore. You've got Shooter McGavin. You've got Bob Barker. You've got... I can't remember the girl's name, but I know she's the girl who plays... This is Julie Bone. She plays the mom, Claire, in Modern Family, so I remember her name in a different show.
Oh, it's like around... Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah. And those are the main characters. I don't remember the mentor dude's name who gets his hand eaten by a crocodile. I remember Ben Stiller's in it, and any movie with Ben Stiller wearing a mustache is great, because Ben Stiller is always evil when he has a mustache on for some reason.
Yeah.
And I like the way he does it.
All right, Matt, what are the names of the characters in Prisoner of Azkaban?
Oh yeah, because he only got 7 movies to learn those. 8, I'm sorry.
Okay, you really want me to list?
Oh, and the books.
Yeah,
And it's talked about all the time, so yeah. That's a fair comparison. Daniel, why don't we talk about the characters?
I like the characters of Prisoner of Azkaban, not necessarily because of Harry, Hermione, and Ron, because they're kind of the same most of the time. They're important because they're main characters, and Dumbledore's there, and Snape's the same, and whatever. But I like the characterization of Sirius Black so much. Like, they did more talking up his evilness better in that movie than they did with Voldemort in any of the movies.
That's true. Sirius Black is probably one of my favorite Harry Potter characters.
Absolutely.
He's amazing.
And so, like, they talk him up so much, and when he shows up, you're like, oh, crap. Like, is he actually evil? Then you find out he's not, and he's just been betrayed, and there's this crazy... It's when you learn about the Marauders with Harry's dad and Peter Pettigrew and all that, and it was, like, super interesting to see that relationship and to see the 3 surviving members of the Marauders in totally different places in life. And, like, they were best friends in high school, and now they're, like, totally torn apart. And that characterization is so cool to me.
That is cool. And he's played by Gary Oldman, who is also cool.
Gary Oldman is cool.
Let's just take a minute to appreciate Gary Oldman.
Wait, I did my waiting! 12 years of it! In Azkaban!
I like these calm little moments before the storm.
Because the only thing to do is to show that maniac that he cannot conquer this island, and for that we need an army. General, tell Brigadier Nicholson the Germans must not reach the sea, not before we get our boys off of that bloody beach.
I found the picture. What picture? A picture of my wife in your pack.
I, Gary Oldman, would very much appreciate it if professional basketball players would stay the out of movies!
Overall, the characterization in Prisoner of Azkaban is stronger because they have 2 movies to stand on, and they don't have to introduce all these characters. So when they introduce, the 2, 3 new characters, they're strong introductions and they're strong characterization. And this was the first movie with Alfonso Cuarón directing, and so there's the style, there's the new look that's a little bit more desaturated outside of Hogwarts. And he has a great eye for capturing kind of the dirtiness of the characters. Like, the characters are dirt, especially Sirius is really dirty.
Kind of gross, yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool, like, that they weren't just pristine characters all the time, that they
Okay. But Happy Gilmore has Happy Gilmore and his, obsession with his grandma, who's a very sweet old lady being taken advantage of, mind you.
Absolutely.
She sure is.
By Ben Stiller, who's a great villain. Julie Bowen's hot. Oh, and the mentor guy who gets his hand eaten by a crocodile. He's a unique character.
He was the funniest character in that movie.
He was the best character, and then he just
dies.
dies. Just
Exactly.
straight up
That's
falls
why
out a window
that's why I
and
think
dies.
he's the funniest. I'm voting for Prisoner of Azkaban.
Me as well.
I am too, but begrudgingly, because they're right and I hate them for it. Fair.
So the rewatchability of these movies.
Now, I will say this for Happy Gilmore. Every time we go golfing, there's at least a reference to Happy Gilmore.
Every single time.
There's always one hole, I think at least one of us tries to Happy Gilmore and just run up and hit it, and we fail miserably.
That's how I hit all my shots.
And then whenever we're having bad putts, we're always just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy tap.
Tap it in. Don't you want to go to your home?
So, there are some funny parts, and I've watched it a couple of times, so I do think it's the best Adam Sandler movie.
It is, and it's easy to watch because it's funny. It is funny.
Now, I realize that Harry Potter Prisoner of Azkaban is the 3rd one, and usually when we talk about a movie as part of a series, like with Mission Impossible, it kind of loses credibility on the rewatchability part because it's you have to get through the whole thing. But you realize it's only the 3rd one. It's not the 7th one.
Yeah.
But I can and have rewatched just Prisoner of Azkaban before.
Which I find weird because I have not. But I have rewatched Happy Gilmore. Now, the rewatchability category is kind of like a saving grace for movies that don't really have anything else going for them. And while I think Prisoner of Azkaban might come close to this, I still think Happy Gilmore is more rewatchable. If anything, for it being not part of a series that you would have to watch 2 movies before.
I think you at least have to have cursory knowledge of the other movies that come before to watch.
You can't
Prisoner of
start.
Azkaban.
You can't start on Azkaban for sure.
No character introductions. All of a sudden, there's this wolf in the middle of the street. You're just like, the freak, man.
Right.
But Happy Gilmore, it's got a beginning, it's got a middle, it's got an end.
And if your soul isn't dead, it's pretty funny.
What do you imply?
What do you think?
Oh, man.
You know what I'm voting for. You guys?
Happy Gilmore. And I can confidently say that is what I'm voting for in this category, because it's true.
See, that's my thing, is I have rewatched Prisoner of Azkaban more than Happy Gilmore.
But is that because you rewatched? I'm gonna totally play against myself now. Is that because you wanted to watch Prisoner of Azkaban or just the whole Harry Potter series?
How many times have you watched Prisoner of Azkaban by itself?
I've seen it probably a dozen times, just because my family was the kind that would turn on Harry Potter all the time, you know? We got 7 movies to choose from. We've all read the books. We've all watched the movies. We know what's going on. We'll just pick a random one and watch it, kind of a thing. So, I guess for me, technically, Prisoner of Azkaban, but...
Say what's in your heart. Is it Prisoner of Azkaban or what?
I would rather watch Prisoner of Azkaban.
You can't say that on YouTube.
Which is why we will cut it out and why I stopped halfway through.
Well,
your mom would be very disappointed.
My mom has said worse things to my face recently.
oh my gosh.
Merits and genre. I don't think either of them are necessarily super big. I don't know how to describe that.
I mean, Happy Gilmore is up there with golf comedies along with Caddyshack.
It's weird because both of these movies fit into their own little subgenres.
Right.
Happy Gilmore as the broader comedy didn't do as much, but if we're narrowing it down to just Adam Sandler comedies, it is up there.
Or golfing comedies.
Or narrow it further to golf comedies, which is
Adam
their
Sandler
the
golf
2 movies.
comedies.
But then Harry Potter in the broad action adventure fantasy young adult novel, whatever you want to call it.
Harry Potter as a series is in the top 3 of...
Well, yeah, but Prisoner of Azkaban specifically, I don't know. But in the smaller realm of just Harry Potter movies, I think it's one of the better ones. So, I don't know, this category is kind of tough. I would still probably give it to Azkaban just because Harry Potter as a series is way more popular.
Yeah, I'll vote Prisoner of Azkaban for this one too.
Fine.
Prisoner of Azkaban it is. Last category is emotional impact, where with Happy Gilmore, if its intention was to piss me off, it did a very good job.
There was emotion there.
There was plenty of emotion.
I'm kidding.
He got the girl.
Totally kidding.
He made the shot over the tower thing. He beat Shooter McGavin.
Still in between times when we mention his name, I forget his name.
We said it a few times in this video.
I still can't remember his name.
But you're right.
That's a stupid name.
Sirius Black had a lot of emotion.
Just in himself, the betrayal, the bitterness, the sadness, the just exhaustion of being there I don't know.
Right, and then the Gary Oldman of it.
You suck! Get it? You suck!
Where
The Gary Oldman aspect of it all.
Gary Oldman his purpose as an actor is just to show how much raw emotion can come across in a performance. He is just brimming with liquid emotion.
That's That's a weird sentence.
Like,
So you're voting for Prisoner of Azkaban?
I am voting for Prisoner of
I
Azkaban.
also.
I am not, but it doesn't matter.
Guys, this was our very first cinema knockout. Prisoner of Azkaban won every single category.
It won. It's a knockout, and we have a brand new end title sequence for this. Watch it.
All right, well, why don't we go ahead and pick from our bowl?
Still nervous that the Cinema Bowl has yet to punish me.
Oh, it will.
I wanted to punch
You wanted to punish me like you did earlier this video.
you. That was an accident. My emotions got the better of me, and now the Cinema Bowl is punishing me
Go, Jake.
because this is one of my favorite comedy movies of all time.
Oh no.
Blades of Glory.
And this is one of my favorite comedy movies of all time.
Oh.
The Emperor's New Groove.
No! The Cinema Bowl has punished me so.
Oh, man.
Gosh dang it.
There's no way to do this, guys. I can't do this. You're gonna have to go on with this one without me. Because I love both of these movies so much.
They're great. Well, bye.